The Central Park Conservancy is celebrating its 35th anniversary, and they thought, well, maybe this is the moment to integrate some art into our celebration. When they invited us to come up with a proposal, we immediately started doing research. And they started from the very beginning. They read the writings of Frederick Law Olmsted. He was really interested in creating a work of landscape that would be an Adirondacks for everyday people. And that led them to think that they should create projects with artists that really reflect on how we use the park, whether it's eating an ice cream cone or listening to some music or having a private conversation in a very public space with somebody we love, and to do it in a way that would be really harmonious with the landscape.
I think people tend to get more comfortable with things if they've seen them on film, or people tend to feel things like things are more home if they've seen them on film. So I think that was definitely one of my impulses in doing it. These movies all represent supposedly real moments, and real moments meaning moments that are more or less private. So the idea of just reciting them with these actors all day long and you could just walk right by it unless you knew what to look for appealed to me. So they're all very realistic, which means they could all be missed.
I think our curators were really brilliant to focus on the northern end of Central Park.
The north is amazing. The north should, I mean, I'm so grateful there were like 3 or 4 movies shot up here just so I could get to know it.
You know, the public is going to interact with this exhibition 2 ways. Some people are definitely stumbling across it and thinking, what is this? And you know, it's funny because you have those moments in Central Park all the time. You don't ever know if something's really a performance or an artwork or somebody just doing something wonderful and magical in the park. And then there are people who are definitely, thousands of people are coming into the park to experience this exhibition that they've learned about. Working in Central Park has its challenges. For example, you can't touch a tree. You really can't dig a hole. And there's a lot you really can experience. Just imagine Ragnar's piece. Looks very simple. It's a 1930s Icelandic fishing boat. And you know, how hard could it be to put in the water and have musicians traveling around and around? Well, the boat had to be restored. And then you needed to find your licensed captains who were legal to actually run the boat. Then you needed to find an ensemble that was able to play 6 hours a day. So I would say that's probably one of the easiest projects that we had to put together. The complications get more and more interesting. You know, Spencer Finch's ice cream truck that's run completely on solar panels. And it took 5 engineers full-time for weeks to actually set up the solar power for the truck. It was made specifically for Spencer. All of them were really interested in this idea of how we experience the park in these very modest ways that create really, I think, magical memories. If there's one thing that visitors take away from this experience, one thing would be to really treasure these moments that we have on an everyday kind of basis, that hold them in our hearts and in our minds and our memories as long as we can. And I think also appreciate the gift of a public park like Central Park. It is such an unbelievably exquisite gift to the people of New York City and the people who visit the city. And it is not to be underestimated how special this is.